Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Clinical Scoop, soon to be the Clinical Circle. The Clinical Research Circle, we're in the process of rebranding everything. I'm Dan Sfera. I've got Chris Sauber on.
Hello,
We've
everybody.
got Dr. Al Jazairli on. And we've got world famous MPC, Monica Paula Quitiva. And, we're going to get into some stuff. You guys can see the screen here. Okay, you can see that we're already deep into the abyss of clinicaltrials.gov, the never-ending website that has no finish line. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, Dr. Al has a word of advice for sites out there. So, Dr. Al, you may have found a new way to, or a new strategy to maybe approach sponsors for studies for you.
Yes, Dan, through clinicaltrial.gov to see if there is any clinical trial that, like for me as an oncologist, I went to the clinicaltrial.gov and I went to the search box and tried to find out like trial, and it was like ton of them that I may benefit from them, I may not benefit from them. But to narrow, I put the recruiting one and the one that's done uh, within other medical group that work around the same county that I'm residing in, or I work at different cities, so there would not be competition, but the same county, and look at any practices that's in your county but different city than you that's doing the same clinical trial and apply for it. Your chances of having the to get the trial is higher than applying and opening a new site, because they're already established in that county, is already established in that area, and they can send their monitors to the easier.
So they have sunken costs, basically. And
Yep.
it's actually, Chris, did we ever do anything like this for our sites? Any kind of
We don't
uh,
typically do specific. Every once in a while, I know we'll have a client that hasn't gotten a study for a while now. Ask Judy to, or Julie to specifically concentrate on a certain indication or a certain therapeutic area and try and get a study there. But
yeah.
typically, that's not what we do.
Okay. So we're gonna get right into the action. Okay. So there's a lot of action here. So just a disclaimer, okay? This is not financial advice. Let me do Yahoo Finance. This is not financial
Thank you.
advice, guys. We're gonna talk about stocks, but biotechs, but we talk about them from the perspective of clinical researchers. And so our approach is unique because we don't do technical analysis. I mean, we have people who do this stuff that we know. We do more fundamental, and we look at the clinicaltrials.gov, which really, I don't think anyone's approaching these stocks in this way. So we got two from our super fan. We got two stocks, two biotechs they want us to look at. One of them, and again, no financial advice. Matter of fact, we're just entertainers
Or
for
you'll
you.
lose all your money.
Yeah, we just, we're entertainment for you, okay? So first one is Kala, Kala. Went up 7.5% today. So over the 6 month, okay, it was at 9, and then it was at a peak of about 980, and now it's back down. Basically, Dr. Al, you and I talked about this one earlier, but Kala had a review that they were approved for dry eyes already, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
what?
approved new medication for dry eye back earlier in 2020, and they were waiting to start producing. I bought it when it was like also in the seventh in the past or sixth in the past,
Yeah.
but I was noticing why it's not coming up after the approval or anything. And then after searching with Dan, we found out why then.
Right. So here's the Yahoo. There's an article on Yahoo from January 7th. Kala Pharmaceutical announces availability of, where is this? Why is it disappearing from my screen? Uh,
That's disappearing from ours too.
Do you know how to pronounce this? Dr. Al, you're the doctor here. What is this drug? How do you pronounce it properly?
Isuvidism. Isuvistum.
Isovitizitim.
Okay. So dry eye disease and provides
Resistant
update on
eye.
development pipeline. Is dry eye disease like are there not many treatments for this that
No,
you're aware of?
I
there's
don't
no
think
good
so.
treatment for it, and they give you eye drops, only the tear drops, and like this, but there is nothing can help. The I think the cheapest medication was in the hundreds of dollars for dry eye.
Yeah.
I give
So
you
here we
I've been
have it.
I've been
Go ahead,
I've been
Chris.
told by a number of ophthalmologists that I have dry eye, but it doesn't bother me. It certainly doesn't bother me enough to spend hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. Well, I had LASIK surgery and about 7 years ago, and they recommended I use eye drops for the rest of my life because that's what after LASIK. And I'm not so compliant. So, but personally, I don't need a prescription. But look, this is why this is important. First and only prescription therapy approved specifically for short-term treatment of the signs and symptoms of dry eyes. So now here's where this gets interesting. And Dr. Al and I were talking about this. Kala is not it's not pursuing a partner with any big pharma. They are going solo to sell this. They've hired their own sales force and they're going by themselves. So what they're really doing, they're either going long term, try to become a big company or a bigger market cap. Because if we look at the chart, let me go back to the chart so we can see what the market cap size is. Or they're trying to increase their attractiveness for a potential acquisition by going by themselves first rather than partnering. A lot of these small companies, when they get approval, they don't have the sales force. So they choose to partner with a bigger drug company and then they have to share the profits. These guys are not doing that. They're going all in on this thing, right? And so we've seen this before with I think Neurocrine did this, Chris, where they went approval and rather than partnering, and since they haven't been acquired still, but they're always rumors. But what did Neurocrine do? Their market cap went way up because they were actually successful at doing it. So Cala's at 430 million. Okay, and we'll compare it when we compare it with the other stock on our list, BioCryst, which we'll get there. Okay, that's a 1.54 billion. Okay, so as you can see, this is on the smaller market
This is the
cap.
different company. This is the other company.
Right. So it's this is on the small end of the biotech market cap, Kala. Even the medium to small is what this one is. Okay, and if you look for whatever it's worth, but analysts love this thing. Okay, 1 year target estimate of $21. Okay, that's what Yahoo says. So this is if their sales campaign is successful, like they're going to start hiring sales reps to go out. And Monica found this article. Okay, so thank you for this, Monica. What did you discover in this article? Oh, this is what she discovered. Okay, I read this too. I just forgot. I have ADD, guys. Insiders. Okay. We've lost count. Look at this article from Simply Wall Street. We've lost count of how many times insiders have accumulated shares in a company that goes on to improve markedly. The flip side is that there are more than a few examples of insiders that dump the stock prior to a period of weak performance. So shareholders might well want to know whether insiders have been buying or selling Kala. It's perfectly legal for company insiders, including board members, to buy and sell stock in a company. Now, we got to disclose, we don't know anyone at Kala. I didn't know what Kala even was until this week or last week. So we don't know any insider doing anything. I wish we can go find. We'll go on clinicaltrials.gov. You guys be patient. We will go look. We will find an email. Okay, and then we can just start asking them questions if you want. But let me go back. So we don't have any information on insiders, but look at this article, okay? Kala Pharmaceutical insider transactions over the last year. In the last 12 months, the biggest single purchase by an insider was when Chief Operating Officer Todd Bazemore. Okay, so LinkedIn later. I will LinkedIn him later. Bought $58,000 worth of shares at a price of $575 a share. We do like to see buying, but this purchase was made at well below the current list price of $743. Because the shares were purchased at a lower price, this doesn't tell us much about how insiders feel about the current share price. That was like an option. This is an employee retention tool that it's perfectly legal to do. Todd Basemore purchased 10,000 shares over the year. The average price per share was $576. There are plenty of other companies that have insiders buying shares. Many investors like to check how much of a company is owned by insiders. A high insider ownership makes company leadership more mindful of shareholder interest. Our data from Simply Wall Street suggests Kala insiders own 0.7% of the company, worth about 2.7 million. We prefer to see high levels of insider ownership. So what do the Kala pharmaceutical insider transactions indicate? It doesn't really mean much that no insider has traded Kala Pharmaceutical shares in the last quarter. On a brighter note, the transactions over the last year are encouraging. While we have no worries about the insider transactions, we'd be more comfortable if they owned more of the stock. In addition to knowing about insider transactions going on, it's beneficial to identify the risks facing Kala. So they want you to click on links to pay for that. But this article is recent. Okay, this was like 2 days ago.
Dan,
Yeah.
I think when you trade a pharmaceutical company or anything, mainly pharmaceutical company, when we're talking about, as you said, uh, inside transaction is very important to look at and follow the stock according to it. The news or banks showing interest in one of the companies or big companies showing interest of one of the smaller company, or if you have any share buyback from the company itself. All this is gonna raise the stock price, and you need to look into it or look for these news when you follow drug companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. What do Chris and Monica? What do you guys think? Chris and MPC, um, Igor, our super fan. By the way, we have to give Igor more credit. Igor should be like an honorary member of this circle because he knows nothing about research, but he's passionate about biotech, and he gives us all these names that are interesting to look
We
at.
should bring him at least once.
He's one of those. He's not. He's like Wizard of Oz, but Igor is a mover and shaker on Wall Street. He is the meme
Mm.
king of biotechs.
Most probably you can bring him one time on the Zoom meeting.
I mean,
Yeah.
ask him. If you guys ask him, maybe he'll listen. Like, give a 30-second plea for Igor. All three of you, please.
Igor, come to us and share with us one of the Zoom meetings. We invite you.
That's a very convincing one. Hey, Chris?
Yeah, Igor. I mean, we'll all help the audience lose their money. Maybe you can do a better job.
And Dr. Al?
we
Ego, we need your help. Help.
we want you here. We want you here.
So one of the things I do, guys, I go on Twitter and I put so on Twitter you can search for the dollar sign. So if you want to search for stocks on Twitter, you put the dollar sign symbol and then KALA, and you can find people talking about it in real time. It's not that much talking about it. They're saying that these are mostly traders looking at it. But if you're ever interested about any of these biotechs and want to hear what people are saying on Twitter, for whatever it's worth, you can go on there. So clinicaltrials.gov, I mean, I don't know if it's anything worth looking at here because I put Kala, so I actually should put Kala Pharmaceuticals on the clinicaltrials.gov. Sorry, wrong one. Start over. This is how anybody at home can do this. Okay. And Dr. Al's website is also good for this too. There's only 9. So now I found the actual company. Terminated. This one has results. treatment of inflammation following cataract surgery in children.
Okay, let
How
me
common
see.
is this cataract in children, Dr. Al? I didn't even know this was a thing.
There is a thing like this, but it's not common.
So rare disease, or would be like a rare, obviously,
Yeah, early cataract.
and
But
that study has terminated with results.
yeah, very devastating because it can affect their vision for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and when something's terminated with results as opposed to completed with results, it's usually not good, not a good. So didn't look like this study is promising. If you're looking for future pipelines, this one, safety and efficacy of KPI 121 in subjects with dry ice. This is the one that got approved, as well as these ones. Okay, these are all with inflammation, post-surgical inflammation and pain, dry eyes disease, dry eye, macular with diabetic macular edema. So this is another one that completed with results. And you guys can go look. I mean, let's just click on this one because I'm looking at another one besides dry eye, because we know dry eye is approved. Okay. So now the only risk is that they don't sell as much as they should or as much as they're expecting. And Wall Street doesn't like that. And then if an acquisition comes, it comes at a discount. That's the downside here, that they don't sell, right? The upside is they sell more than they expect, and they either continue to be independent, or a competitor comes in and makes an offer they can't refuse, right? Which would be good for the
Now,
stock price.
with all of that being said, when it does initially get approved, it usually gets a bump in stock price at that point, regardless, because
Yeah.
there's no sales figures yet.
This one didn't. That's what me and Dr. Al were talking about the other day. If you look at the 6-month, okay, I mean,
Right, when it got
I guess
approved,
you
it
can
didn't get a bump.
consider this a bump in September. It went to like 983, but it's not much of a bump because it was already around those levels.
So what was it at prior to that in the valley
So year to
before the
date,
bump? Was
was
like a
like
20%?
$6 from January of this year. Well, let's look at the 1 year. It was actually June of last year. It was in the teens, 1350.
Mm.
Okay, so that bump of approval, whenever approval happened. Do you remember when approval happened, Dr. Alpha?
I think back in March of April 2020.
Okay, so yeah, so there was no bump
So
around there.
But when the
well, that's
approval
kind of
happened, I think the stock,
Oh,
they got a
March,
bump because
April.
you go back.
Yeah, they did get the bump. They got the bump.
yeah, they did get the bump, and then after that, no.
So they went to the 13. So it went from like
And then
$6, $5 to 13.
and then
then
sales weren't what they expected.
Well, not that. I think the Wall Street was expecting an acquisition, and then they
Okay.
announced that they're not going to do that. And so now it's been stable. It's been very stable. Look, it's been in the 7s for the last months. So
PE ratio matters no longer for stocks.
yeah, but that's for dry eye. So let's look at this other indication. They have another, okay, same drug for diabetic macular edema and retinal vein occlusion. They have results. This study completed, the
phase is
results
that?
was posted December of 2020. So this is new. Let's see what the results. Primary endpoint. Where is the analysis? Outcome measure. Usually they have the outcomes here. Analysis. Let's see. Let's look at the adverse events.
An itchy eye. That's a joke.
Yeah, because this is the other. Okay, here we go. Measure. Okay, so in the KPI 121, 1% suspension, mean deviation. What's the primary outcome? Let me see. Where am I supposed to look here, Dr.
Here,
Alba?
number three, primary outcome. Go here, number 3.
Oh, outcome
Primary
data.
outcome, yeah.
Outcome data.
The one on top,
Then
primary outcome.
on top, yeah, on top of the outcome measure that data.
This?
On the left, on the left, on the left.
This?
No, left.
No,
Yeah, this is
left.
left.
Go to the left.
This?
Left.
All the
Number
left
3.
column, I'm guessing they're
Yeah.
saying. I'm not
Here on
following
the-
either, Dan.
This is my
Primary
left.
objective.
This is
No,
my
all the way to
left.
the left. All the way to the end of
Yeah.
the page,
Yeah.
left.
This
Uh-huh.
It says
here.
primary outcome.
Do you see 3?
It says
Exactly.
primary
there.
outcome there.
Yeah, no, I see that, but what do you see? I mean, where's the results?
Change measurement. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see that, but I'm looking like where's the results? Because see, this is one arm was 1% solution, the other arm was 0.25% solution. The primary outcome is center subfield retinal thickness. So negative 8.2 versus 4.8 retinal thickness.
Is that what causes dry eye? Retinal thickness? I would just think it's like tear ducts aren't working
Hold
correctly.
on, hold on. Just here, stop. Unable to analyze the data for efficacy under analysis population description, outcome measure data.
Ah.
Also, the
Unfortunately,
same
the
thing-
total area
yeah.
was not collected during the study.
Uh-huh.
So this study was a complete failure.
Exactly.
See, they
Completed. but
needed a
failure.
CRO like the Clinical Research Circle to help them get their study up and running better. I mean, let's look at another one with the results. Meibomian gland disease.
What's the disease?
I don't know. Let's see. I mean, if you don't know, there's no way I'm gonna know. Meibomian. Full disclosure, Dr. Al is an oncologist. Okay, not an.
That's only in Maui. See, Maui.
Meibomian gland disease, Maui. I guess Maui is the nickname
I
for
don't know
this.
what is this.
Something rare, but let's see the results. This one's the results. Study results. Okay. We have, let's go to number 3. Negative 4.1
And negative.
outcome measured data. Minus 0.5 versus minus 0.4. It looks the same.
0.7 non-significant. No good outcome.
No good outcome. So really, guys, all that to show that there's nothing else in the pipeline that you have. You know, if you're going to be an investor in this stock, you don't have anything else in the pipeline. It's just this drug, right? But that should be enough. Look, estimates are saying $21 in 1 year. So they're going on it their own. They have a drug. They get the bump from the 5 to 13. Now it's back down in the 7s. Maybe a good time to get in. I don't know. Do your own analysis. We're just looking at the studies. There's nothing else in the pipeline. So all you're banking on is that they're going to start selling this thing better than expected.
It's a high risk. It seems like a high risk.
Yep.
But it could also be undervalued with the drug that they have, you know, because they have an unproven sales force.
Maybe they have bigger market than we anticipated. That's why they're expecting the stock to go to 22.
Exactly. Or an acquisition, you know, maybe they sell and they're waiting for acquisition. So the next one, thanks to Igor, BioCryst Pharmaceuticals, BCRX, Japanese approval for hereditary angioedema in adults and pediatric patients.
Mhm.
So what is this, Dr. Al?
Angioedema is the swelling of the tissue, especially in the mucosal membrane. Sometimes it can happen because of allergic reaction, and sometimes can happen because it's deficiency on some kind of the hereditary one. You have acquired and hereditary. The hereditary one that happen once in a while because of it is hereditary. That's why. Okay.
Well,
I
how
think
common?
the enzyme changes that happen, but also the acquired one can happen as part of the allergic reaction and can cause blocking of the respiratory for the trachea because of the angioedema or the swelling of the tissue there.
And how common is this?
So it is very serious thing, can happen.
But is it common?
It's
Common
not this
occurrence in.
common, but you see it. I saw it like about a dozen times in my practice.
Okay.
Because I
So
do
this,
treatment like this, so patient can have something like this happening to him.
so both of these stocks are related to rare disease.
Yeah. Now, BioCryst, unlike Kala, they tried the COVID thing. They tried a COVID, looks like a treatment, and it failed, right? So it provided an update and the data on the antiviral, and it did not. The study was not designed, so they stopped the study for COVID. So really, what you have is for the rare disease, and that's Japanese approval. Okay, that's not United States approval. The bullish argument would be, well, they're going to do a study in the US. So I actually have their, let's see. Let's see if they're doing anything in the US. Yeah, this one has completed in the US. So they have one for influenza that completed. This one completed, let's see when. Must be old. 2015. Okay, so this is not relevant for the stock right now. Let's see what other indications they have. Influenza, that one's related to that one. Influenza, gout. Okay, so in the US, there's no study. It's just the Japan. Okay. And it doesn't look like there's any interest in doing a study in the US because we would have seen something on clinicaltrials.gov. In my opinion, we would have seen something on there. So I would not look into this stock. I don't know why Igor is so excited. I mean, Igor, I understand you get great technical analysis. You got to learn from clinicaltrials.gov. I mean, just search. Look, the only one in the US was this thing from 6 years ago for influenza. There was one with gout that completed as well in the US. And that was even older. So there's nothing for this condition in the United States. So all you have is Japan. You're probably going to get like Asia, and that's not exciting for investors in the US biotech.
Okay. Okay, so here's a question.
Yeah.
That may, because I'm not sure of the answer. I think I know the answer, but
not enough
catalysts.
Better. Not enough catalyst, in my opinion, and the analyst would agree with me. 1 year target estimate $11. So that's not exciting to me for a biotech. Biotech, I want to see if it's $8. I want to see 1 year target estimate 20, 40, not 11. I can get this from General Electric.
Not now, my friend. No, it's the return is much better for GE.
Yeah, you get better. Yep. Why? So Chris?
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected there for a moment. Still can't. My camera's still not working, but you can hear me, right?
Chris, we can hear you loud and clear. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Good. Okay, so the Japanese drug BCRX, I think it's called. They could have something in the pipeline in Japan and it wouldn't show up on clinicaltrials.gov. No.
I mean, it's supposed to show up anywhere in the world, but I don't know if Japan. I've seen when it's US and international, it shows up on clinicaltrials.gov. If it's not if it's US,
strictly Japan,
it won't show up. I don't think they're required to post it on clinicaltrials.gov.
Right, that's what I would think as well. So maybe he knows something that we don't know by just looking at clinicaltrials.gov.
No, knowing Igor's a speculator and a very good one. But Igor, there's nothing here, man. Okay, BCRX, I'm sorry to end the show on a,
Why don't go to Biopharm Catalyst and put the sample for
the company? Let's do this.
Something else.
But what's that website again? Biofarm. Oh, here we go. I have it. Please be patient. Your call is very important to us. Someone will be with you shortly. Let's copy and paste this bad boy. Not excited about this stock at all.
No, but the other one sounds more appealing. I mean, if you
Kala is
compare
appealing.
it.
Kala has something going in the U.S. with an untapped market, right? That's why I think that. Okay, I put it and nothing's coming up. Let's put the ticker. What's the ticker?
You need to click it. Put it.
ERX.
Yeah, just click it.
I know. I mean, it's simple, but when you have ADHD,
Yeah.
it's not so
Now,
simple.
latest in news and pipeline to your left.
Let's see.
Okay, yeah, they have phase one,
Research Triangle Park,
phase
22nd.
phase
So
one,
it's
phase-
brand new. Thank you, Dr. Al. You saved the day for us because we were just talking about how no clinicaltrials.gov. This shows you the inefficiencies in clinicaltrials.gov. Okay. BCRX today announced that the Ministry of Health in Japan has granted marketing and manufacturer approval for oral once daily Orladeyo for the hereditary angioedema HAE. Okay. Pediatric and adults. But this is from Research Triangle Park. So Orphan Pacific Inc. is BioCris representative partner in Japan. So BioCris is a US company. That's why they're on the stocks here. But it looks like they're only going to commercialize it in Japan. In December, the US Food and Drug Administration approved Orladeyo in the US. In Europe, the EMA validates its marketing authorization submission for Orladeyo and formal review under the centralized procedures underway. The company expects an approval decision in Europe. So the Food and Drug
Do you
Administration
find something different?
already approve it.
So I guess if you do a study in Japan, and I remember Luke Eddington was telling me this from Australia. Sometimes the FDA will allow data from certain countries. So Japan's on that list. So in December, the US FDA approved this in the US. So with the approval in Japan, BioCris is eligible to receive an additional milestone payment of $15 million from Torii upon receipt of a reimbursement. So it's approved for use here in the US too, as of December of last year. So maybe the catalyst is going to be an acquisition, just like Kala. So I'm glad you told me about this website.
Done. So can you see back on December if it has any bumps when it was approved in the US?
Yeah, it was December 3rd was the approval. So let's see. Let's go last 6 months. December 3rd. Yeah. So it took a bump from 4 to 7. It doubled. 4 to 8 upon that approval. And now it's been at the same level.
That's what I've been saying. Like, watch for these kind of news where you have that you can find the change in the price according to the news that happened.
Yeah, so Biopharm Catalyst is probably going to be a important arsenal in addition to ct.gov, because ct.gov is good to look at the results like we did, look at what's in what's in this US as far as studies are concerned. But in the case of when a drug is being done only in Japan and then the FDA accepts it, because there is a list of countries where data is acceptable by the FDA and by the European Union too. European EMA has to validate this by first quarter of or second quarter of 2021. It's probably the company already expects an approval in Europe, so it's already factored into the stock price. So really here you have just like Kala, the same catalysts, although we don't know if they're going to go with their own sales force or what's going to happen. That's the only difference. With Cala, they already have their own sales force. And there's no other stocks that I see.
Nope.
Yeah, no stocks. I'm asking Igor. Nothing. So that's it, guys. I don't know. Maybe BioCryst is good, but I think there's a bigger market for dry eye than for hereditary angioedema, no?
I think this is you need to wait for the earning and see how the outcome of the earning. This is how you trade this company, the foreign companies. Just wait for the earnings. When look into it, see when it's the earning coming, and see how much they sold, how much profit they made, and
Let's
this is
see.
how you trade it much better than.
Earnings date March 3rd, between March 3rd and March 8th.
Yeah, so that's where you look for the earning of the company and see what's the predicted, what the
Yeah.
expect, what the historical one, and that way maybe you can trade it much better than just because there is nothing to trade here or anything
Yeah.
you didn't use
I
about
feel
it.
like we need another diamond in the rough. So I'm going to Cala and I'm going to see what other ones people are watching. This one's down 5%. Oh, this one's down 8% today. Rhythm Pharmaceuticals. So while I'm doing this, Chris, can you dance to a rhythm? Monica, you do the beat, and then Chris, they're going to dance to the rhythm as we look up the rhythm. Come on, guys, we need views. Okay. Down 9% today. Rhythm Pharmaceuticals.
Let me see.
These guys, we're gonna go with Dr. Al's favorite website.
Dr. Sorry.
One of your favorite. Slow. My computer's slow, guys, but be patient. Rhythm Pharmaceuticals. Here we go.
Yeah, this is another one with rare genetic, that studies rare disease.
Yeah, pathway deficiency related obesities.
Rare genetic disorders of obesity.
Wow,
So,
that's a big market. Obesity.
so FDA approved
Yeah.
something in November 2020, setmelanotide, POMC deficiency, obesity, leptin receptor deficiency. Huh. Okay. And
So
now they have in phase 3, same drug for Alstrom syndrome and Bardet-Biedl syndrome. What's this? Dr. Al, you know these things. What is this? Alstrom syndrome, Bardet-Biedl syndrome.
it's a syndrome.
And what about this?
Dan,
POMC.
I send you a link with their pipeline. It has a little bit.
You sent? Okay, I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to
Yeah.
pull it up what you sent.
They have plenty. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 studies.
Let's look.
Well,
Let's look on my favorite website, clinicaltrials.gov, and see. And now I'm going to pull up Monica's study as well here. Let's pull this up. So we got Monica's article, like magic. You gotta love technology. She finds something in her office very far away from me, and I find something.
20 feet.
I find something on my computer, in a different time zone from her.
Yeah, 20 feet away.
Now FDA approved. Okay, we are studying rare genetic disorders of obesity. Guys, this could be good. Dr. Al, how much obesity, if you had, I know this is not your field, but if you had to guess, obesity in this country is a problem. So what percentage of the
Problem.
obesity is related to Genetics versus lifestyle. What percentage can you attribute to genetic disorder for obesity?
I think it's 10 to 20%. I don't think it should be more than this. Monica can search it and tell us.
Monica, let's do it. Let's do it, Monica.
Let me
While
see.
I'm reading,
And
let's do it.
actually,
Setmelanotide, obesity due to POMC-PCSK1 deficiency, obesity due to leper deficiency, Alstrom syndrome. So let me look at the stock in 1 year. Okay, it's at 31. So it went from 18, blah, blah. So it's at a pretty high 52-week range is up to 43, from 13 to 43. The latest news is yesterday, they announced positive data with this drug and additional MC4R pathway deficiency related obesities. 8 days ago, they were going to provide update on this study. Now it's positive. And this is the study that's in this one, phase 3. I think that's this. Let me see which study is. So phase 2 or phase 3? Phase 2. Phase 2. So they had positive results of this study, phase 2. The phase 3, we need to see.
Sorry, go.
Oh, go ahead, Chris. What?
So I Googled what you asked Monica to Google, and it says most people that have a weight problem probably have some genetic predisposition, but obesity is lifestyle typically.
Okay. And we can look on clinicaltrials.gov for this. See what they have going on. But the website tells us 24 studies. But let's see what's not yet recruiting. Hypothalamic obesity. So they have a new one in the pipeline. Long-term extension trial. You know how we feel about those. That means that they think it's good, but this one already got approval. Genetic disorder of obesity, and then they have a bunch that are already completed. So I don't know if this is something that I would. The results are already here, and the rest are very rare disease. Phase 2, they just announced good data, and that's already priced in. It's going to take a year to get to the phase 3 at least, if not 2 years. And then here you get the phase 3 for Alstrom syndrome and Bartel. They already got approval for the leptin. This is probably the biggest market amongst their 3. So I don't know. I'm not too excited about this one either, guys. But yeah, I would. It's I mean, that's my thoughts. So who am I? And nobody cares.
but
Yeah,
it seems that the rare disease are taking over, like, I mean, with the stocks and even for research, as we were discussing with Dr. Al the other day.
Well, let's look at Decifera, what people also watch related to this. 52-week range from 33 to 71. I could get behind this one so far. It looks like it's on the lower end of that range. Let's see. Maybe we find something good here. 16 days ago, corporate update and highlights. Not interesting. 22 days ago, they presented at the 39th annual JP Morgan Health Conference. So let's go to Dr. Al's favorite website. Biopharmcatalyst.com. They should give us for free for all we're pumping this thing. If Biopharm Catalyst had a stock, well, I would buy that stock instead of the last 2 drugs we looked at. Always sell.
I only see.
Always trust the companies that sell equipment to the gold miners. That makes more money than the gold miner themselves. Okay, Decipher. What'd you say, Chris?
Typically. Yeah, I only see the clinicaltrials.gov website. Are you changing the websites?
Yeah, you can't see this?
No, all I see is clinicaltrials.gov.
Guys, you see this?
Is that true for...
I see it, Dad. It's 42.57.
Yeah.
Why do I only see clinicaltrials.gov? Weird.
Chris, I don't know. We send a Geek Squad member to your house immediately.
There you go. Thank you.
The circle pays for a repairman for your computer.
Very nice.
I just had to buy a new computer too. Okay, pipeline, guys. You like this? Solid tumors, Dr. Al. This is up your alley. This might, guys. We waited till the end. I see Dr. Al's facial expressions. He's looking interested in this one.
Upcoming catalyst, my friend.
I told you guys, Dr. Al, don't get him going. Premium membership is required to view these things, but Dr. Al, you can do this on your computer and see. Solid tumors, giant cell tumor, solid tumor, paclitaxel, rebastanib. What's rebastanib? Ooh, top line data for the pivotal phase 3 study of Kinlock in patients with second line GIST. What is this GIST? Is expected in the second half of 2021. That's a phase 3 study. So let's go to, forget about rhythm. This thing is, I
Yeah.
wouldn't touch this.
Let
But
me see.
maybe this one. Let's see what studies they have. Decipher. Chris, we may have found something here, man.
Yeah. I'm reflecting on our last found something and how that turned out.
What the name of the
Let's not
company,
talk about.
man?
We found some NWBO and we found some other good ones too.
What's the name of the company?
True.
Decipher, DECIPHERA.
No, the simple.
Symbol DCPH.
DCCH.
No, DCPH.
DCPH.
Dan, Chris, Peter,
Paola.
Henry. Dan, Chris, Peter, Henry. Chris, can you see on your screen anything other than your hands and face?
I see clinicaltrials.gov. That's all I see.
Chris, I don't know what's going on.
My computer locked up and it said Zoom is now stopping, but then
nice.
I could hear you guys again and video started working, but I guess the page doesn't change anymore.
Riveting. So Dr. Al, I can actually see his screen.
I
Somehow.
can too. Yeah, I can see his screen too.
So let's see. I can see him typing there. Dr. Al liking this one. Maybe we found something for Dr. Al here. Decipher Pharma. They're in a pivotal phase 3. 1 year target estimate, $76. Guys, you want to double your money in a year? Maybe right here.
You could have doubled your money today on GameSpot.
You could
GameStop.
have 7x'd your money in the week. 8x'd.
In the week. I'm just saying today, 130% increase, I think.
Yeah. GameStonk.
Here, Dan.
Yeah.
This is the upcoming catalyst. This is the first thing. Can you see it, guys?
Technology. Yeah, we love this technology here. What's can you read it?
Diceria Pharmaceutical provide corporate update and highlight key 2020 corporate milestone.
Okay. I see they also have a migraine study. Oh, no, sorry. Malignancies. Advanced malignancy.
Nothing.
Terminated.
Same thing.
Wow, approved for marketing. Which one is that?
Approved for marketing. Expanded
Yeah.
access of ripretinib
Two
in
more.
treatment in patients with advanced GIST. So the furthest one ahead is, you said, which indication is the... Which one, Dr. Al? Let's see. Recruiting. Let's go with recruiting. 5 studies for recruiting for Dicephera.
None. 5 studies.
Giant cell tumor.
Very, 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 very rare.
Really? Let's go with the phase 3. That's the one we're interested in. That's the one with the earliest catalyst is going to be second half of 2021.
0.
There's nothing, so I don't see. Maybe it's not recruiting anymore. Hold
Is
on.
the one that says not yet recruiting, I think.
Yeah, let me put.
What?
Let me change the phase 3. Let's apply now.
Active, not yet recruiting.
This one?
No, that's gastrointestinal, stromal tumors. Both are for gastrointestinal.
Very rare, Dr. Al?
Just no gastrointestinal stromal tumor. It is like more common than the giant cell tumor, but the guest is it's type of sarcoma. That's
Okay. So what do you think? You think there's a market for this? Because this
I
seems
think
like
for the first study, because it's already approved and we already been treating for it. I think it's an old study since 2018.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is what it is, but for the other one, I don't know if you can click
Yeah,
it.
phase 3. This is the one. The gastrointestinal stromal
Yeah.
tumors is in phase 3, and they're expecting a decision by the FDA in second half of 2021.
So that's the one we were looking at, the
Yeah.
clinical trials.
Top line data expected from this study, expected second half of 2021. Top line data. So the efficacy, they want to see like the early stage. They're going to do a database lock and analyze the data.
I
So
don't
it
think
could
we have a big
go good or
market.
bad.
I don't think going to be a big catalyst.
No?
To be honest
Quinoa.
with you.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Have it. I mean, you can do this all day too. You know, I just picked the ones that are down. Blueprint Medicines Corporation. $90.
Wow. Okay, no.
Blue, yeah, blue is big. Blue is big.
$5 billion market cap.
It's being bought by one of the bigger company, Novartis or
Oh wow.
Biotech.
Let's go with Mirati Therapeutics. Mirati.
I think
52-week
also
range,
have
66.
a lot of activity lately.
They have a $9 billion market cap. This is huge. We don't want these. We want small. Kura. What's Kura? I used to go to a restaurant, a sushi place called Kura. Let's click on this.
That's it.
Kura Oncology. Dr. Al. 1.9 billion only. Yeah. So you guys can do this all day long. Look how many opportunities there are, guys, in biotech. You can just keep clicking until your computer, like Chris, freezes. Okay.
Thanks.
And you're still only at 0.1 of the potential. Here's one that's trading at $7 at the low end of a 52-week range between 6 and 14. Kura or Voyager, sorry, Voyager Therapeutics. There is a class action lawsuit against Voyager. Always a good sign.
It's a good buy.
Yeah. People are scared. Let's see. Los Angeles, a national shareholder, Voyager. Investors who purchased the company's securities between June 2017 and November 2020 are encouraged to contact. According to the complaint, the company made false and misleading statements to the market. Voyager's IND submission to the FDA for VYHTT01 failed to include key information on chemistry, manufacturing, and controls, including drug device compatibility and product characterization. The company's IND was deficient based on this failure. The company overstated the likelihood of the IND submission achieving FDA approval. Voyager Therapeutics. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's see what we got in their pipeline.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, always Dr. Al's favorite website and clinicaltrials.gov used
Just
in
before-
combination. Huh?
I'm looking at the Biopharm Catalyst website, and they're saying about the biotech analyst rating. Credit Suisse outperform price target 27. Another one, price target is 22, and the third one is price target is 40.
Are you talking about Voyager?
About this, no, about different company most probably. Yeah, no, different.
Oh, hold on. Let me tell you, I'm on there. I'm on your favorite website about Voyager right now. Voyager Therapeutic, a clinical stage gene therapy company. This is right up our alley, guy. We love genetics.
What's the symbol for it?
VYGR.
V.
Victor, Yvonne, Gregory, and Romantico. VYGR.
Voyager.
Chris is entertained. Look at his face. This
Yeah.
Chris
Always
is
Great information.
Chris. We might find a diamond in the rough. It just takes an hour. But look at Voyager. It's like near a 52-week low. The phase 2
Mhm.
clinical trial placed on a hold December 22nd.
See?
What we got? Yeah, I'm seeing this. So I entered into an employment agreement with a new hired employee that, amongst other things, provides for the grant of a non-qualified. What is this? Stock option. Can you explain what we're reading here? Look at this, Chris. You'll like this one, Chris.
I can't look at anything.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking at clinicaltrials.gov for the last 10 minutes.
Chris, listen then. I know you can't look. Use your other sense right now. Listen. Okay.
Will do.
December 22nd, the Food and Drug Administration notified Neurocrine Biosciences. You heard of this company? Neurocrine, Chris?
Yeah.
Neurocrine. Monica, you heard?
New to
Neurocrine?
me. No, no.
It has placed a clinical hold on Restore 1 clinical trial of NB. So they partner with Voyager. As previously announced, trials participating in Restore had not been screening, enrolling, or dosing patients as a result of the pandemic, and more recently, as a result of independent data safety monitoring board request to pause dosing periods. The DSNB has requested additional patient level data from the trial and now plans to review these in early 21. So this study is on hold for Parkinson's. Genetic therapy for Parkinson's. All right.
Oh.
And Neurocrine's a big company.
What?
Now
What's
they're
the price at right now today?
The price is today.
7.73.
The target price is 28.
Oh.
Yeah, right now Voyager is at, drumroll please, 7.73. $7.73.
So what's at 28?
Yahoo 1 year target estimate is
Target
14.
price by
Target.
James.
Okay.
Yeah, Yahoo's target for 1 year is $14.
14.
Yeah, Yahoo. That's Yahoo. I don't think they're very. Yahoo used to be credible. Now I don't trust Yahoo so much. But what does your target say on your
28.
platinum plan? 28. See,
Wow.
guys?
3 times.
Yeah, not bad. 3 times your money.
You feel like gambling because casino in California closed, so you have this option to gamble. At least casino you get the beers. You get beer for free. What do you see on clinicaltrials.gov? It's only one study going on right now, and it's on hold. So basically, they put it on hold because of COVID. Let's see. I need to look. Sorry, guys. If you guys gotta go, let me know. But I need to see this right now. Clinicaltrials.gov. I'm gonna look for this, and I'm gonna see. There's probably only one study. Okay. I want to see where these sites are located.
14 studies. Wow.
Yeah, 14, but UC San, this is the one. Parkinson's. UC San Francisco. So it makes sense that the study's on hold. There's nothing going on there. This is only essential studies are being done right now at UCSF and the University of Pittsburgh. So what is this one? That's a feasibility study. So this is the one that's interesting. Okay. Active not recruiting. Okay, here's the one actually. Melanoma. No. So the ones for Parkinson's is these ones. Restore 1. Okay, this is the study that's on hold. UC Irvine, UC Davis, San Francisco. These are all hard hit areas with COVID around the winter. So it makes sense why it's on pause.
I found an article that says this is the second clinical hold in as many months for Cambridge, Mass-based Voyager. In October, the FDA placed a clinical hold on the company's Huntington disease genetic and also the Parkinson's. Therapeutic
Yeah.
were down nearly 10% in pre-market trading after the company announces that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, placed a clinical hold on the experimental gene therapy for Parkinson's disease.
But it's on hold because of COVID and because the company wants to analyze the top line data. So you're literally gambling on this thing of whether
I'm
there's
gonna
any efficacy or not. But if you feel like a gamble, I mean, look, Neurocrine's a very respectable company. For them to partner with somebody means, and a very smart people working there, it means that they see some value in this potential. I don't know what you think, Chris. That's what
Eventually.
yeah, potential.
Mhm.
Oh, I have a good article for that. You will want to read it.
Yeah. Let's go. Send it. And then
Got it.
we got to end it because these people on Clinical Scoop, Clinical Circle, you guys are gonna have a headache after this. You're gonna need a headache study with Voyager. Maybe they do for headache therapy.
Then I send it. Take a look.
Monica, thank you from a land far away from me. But you sent me two things, both of them.
No, the last one. Very
Okay.
last one.
She sent 3 things today since we've been doing this.
Yeah. Everyone can see except Chris.
So
Chris,
if
I'm
you
sorry.
go, yeah, just go
Voyager takes a hit
down.
after FDA places hold. This is on December 23rd. Shares of Voyager were down nearly 10%. After the company announced the FDA
See what
placed a
it says.
hold. This is the second hold.
Late
Last
Tuesday.
Tuesday, Voyager announced the latest hold. The FDA placed a hold on the Restore trial after partner Neurocrine submitted an IND report related to the observation of MRI abnormalities in some Restore 1 study participants. The clinical implications of this observation are currently unknown. MRI abnormalities. What can that be, Dr. L?
Abnormality in the brain.
Yeah, that's
Without
that could be.
I don't know.
But
Could it
that
be
would mean
because
something like physical is happening to the brain. That's can't be good.
I think I've taken this drug.
Yeah. Intracerebral is assessing
Abnormalities in the brain.
NBI and intracerebral AAV based investigational gene therapy as a potential treatment of Parkinson's. In September, they announced positive 3-year efficacy and safety data in Parkinson's patients. In its announcement, Voyager said patients treated with a one-time dose of the gene therapy showed sustained improvement in motor function, dyskinesia reduction. This is not the first bump in the road. The trial had previously been paused due to COVID. So now it's not paused due to COVID. They want additional data from trial, and they're going to review this data in early 21. Is designed to help produce the aromatic L-amino acid decarboxylase enzyme in brain where it can convert levodopa to dopamine. Parkinson's is characterized by loss of dopamine. And the drug is administered into the brain using intraoperative monitoring with magnetic resonance imaging facilitated targeted delivery. Wow. I don't know. When I see hold, FDA placed on hold, and they placed a hold on this for the Huntington's disease.
And also for the Parkinson's, the one on top.
Yeah. So observation of MRI abnormalities. I don't know. The more I read, the more I would say to stay away from this. But you could gamble, and maybe the FDA says this is not a big deal. I don't know. You guys decide for yourself. I don't think we found any good stocks today other than the first one, Kala. But again, we know nothing. Well, Dr. Al is the only one who knows. But
Financial advice.
yeah, none of us are giving
follow my
financial
advice. You'll be bankrupt.
Yeah. No financial.
Dr. L,
I'm not a financial advisor. I do not do any recommendation. I'm not
Nothing.
nothing. I'm just
but let's let's give the audience your cell number, and they can call you for personal
Sure,
guidance
sure.
on stocks.
Dr. Al's cell phone. Here's one that's 12 that a 1 year target estimate 25 at Verum Biotechnologies. Guys, we can do this all day. I say we save some for next time. And I think Igor always finds like the potentially good ones, although this BCRX, I don't know what you're excited about, Igor. Like, slow it down. This is not the last 4 I looked at are more promising than I think Voyager, if you want to take a gamble, is probably the best one to take a gamble. BCRX is nothing exciting.
Well, I kind of like the one that's partnering with Neurocrine.
Yeah, that's Voyager.
I don't know which one. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that's a gamble. That's the one should have been on Igor's list. Igor, improve.
Yeah.
Always improve. Look for ways to improve your skills, Igor. We're doing this out of love to our #1 super fan. All right, guys.
You got to give him some.
Okay,
You got to give
guys.
Igor some props, or he's not going to give you any more recommendations.
Igor, keep them
Okay.
coming, guys.
I
Everybody.
need to go to the hospital, so we'll
Yes,
talk
thank you,
later.
guys. We're gonna get
All right.
going. Thank
Have a
you,
good night.
everybody. Clinical
Bye, guys.
Research Circle. Take care. Not financial advice.
Bye bye.